It's been 3 years since the fatal shooting of the rapper Nipsey Hussle, a local Los Angeles artist whose killing reverberated far beyond the world of West Coast hip-hop. The case, which had been repeatedly delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, has picked up steam once again and is developing rapidly. In this video, we take a look at all the latest developments in this case, including a new surveillance video that has made the biggest impact that could finally lead to the case being solved. Before we begin to talk about the trial, here's some info. Nipsey Hussle, whose real name was Ermias Asghedom, was shot and killed on March 31st, 2019, outside a clothing store he owned in South Los Angeles, with the police soon attributing the attack to a personal dispute. The accused, Eric Holder, turned himself in 2 days after the incident at a mental health clinic. After all the evidence produced in court, we can't say for sure what the ending verdict is going to be for Holder. However, everyone has already drawn some conclusions based on the evidence and what we had the opportunity to see so far. Now, Nipsey Hussle's passing shook the hip-hop community real hard. Drake, Meek Mill, Rihanna, and a few other artists expressed their shock and sorrow both in real life and on social media. Everyone would agree his loss impacted the whole community of South LA. He spent a majority of his life right here making positive changes in every single step that he made. He was a pretty influential figure. In fact, his passing was mourned by over 20,000 people at the Staples Center. As for what we're left with today is a criminal case that was recently started and has gone from 0 to 100 real quick. Nipsey was taken down by a guy who he knew from his block growing up. His name is Eric Holder, and he isn't just facing charges for Nipsey's death, but also for 2 other people who were injured on that fateful day. According to various reports, Eric Holder gunned down Nipsey because of a conversation that the 2 of them had in front of the store just moments before the incident. Both the prosecutor and the defense attorney mentioned this during the hearing in front of jurors, and they both pointed out a very specific detail that is super important to the trial itself. In case you're wondering what Nipsey told Eric that upset him so much to the point that he ended up taking his life, believe it or not, it was only because he was called a snitch. It's debatable if these were the words that were used, but one of the witnesses present at the incident, Nipsey's friend Herman Cowboy Douglas, spoke on the matter. He said, "Nobody used the word snitch." He also said that the conversation was pretty cool and everything was chill. Cowboy Herman worked at the store and he knew Nipsey for a long time. A lot of people, however, think that Cowboy may have been involved. Evidence of the case was lacking, and some of the interviews he did with the media were sketchy, according to a few. Some of the things he said weren't adding up. Some even believe Cowboy is guilty. These might just be conspiracy theories, and Cowboy knows it. We do not think Cowboy is involved in the case. How? You see, Cowboy did an interview explaining everything that went down that day, and if he was really involved in the incident somehow, he wouldn't be there actively present at court acting as a witness. Besides, Cowboy was right there with Nipsey when he got shot, and he literally tried to save his life, tending to him before the ambulance arrived. Nipsey's case somewhat depends on Cowboy because he was one of the key witnesses who saw Eric Holder taking Nipsey down. The key witnesses in the trial are Cowboy and the lady driver who was called up to testify and talk about what happened. Without their testimonies, the case would have been way more difficult for Nipsey's side. At the beginning of the trial, there was no video footage to cross-check the testimonies. However, we've since managed to get the video and see everything for ourselves. The video clip that was brought before the hearing shows pretty much everything the prosecutor had at his disposal. Eric was filmed by multiple cameras in the corner between Crenshaw Boulevard and Slauson Avenue. He was seen carrying a firearm that was used during the incident. His clothing matches all the videos, and the time lapses from different cameras are in perfect sync. Without a doubt, Eric Holder committed the crime, and there's no way someone can prove otherwise. In fact, his public defender even said that he did it. Not only was this a poor defense move by his attorney, but also pretty much revolved this case around Eric's mental health issues and the fact that Nipsey provoked Eric by calling him a snitch. Many on social media criticized Holder's defense and claimed that killing someone for being provoked was no justification. So, will there be some concessions for Eric, considering he made the decision in the heat of the moment and that he was mentally unstable? Only time will tell. Besides, it's worth noting that none of the videos presented in court showed Eric's face, but that might not be so important after all. There are 2 strong witnesses testifying for Nipsey, Cowboy and the lady getaway driver. They were ready to bury Holder for what he did. They both found Eric guilty, even though he pleaded not guilty. In fact, the prosecutor and the LAPD grilled the lady who drove Eric to and from the drive scene. Turns out, she was manipulated into doing something she never signed up for. Of course, she never had a single clue about what was going to happen. Upon committing the crime, Eric told the woman, "Drive or I'll slap you." After that, the lady and Eric took off, and that was the end of it. Soon after, she realized something was fishy about what happened. Not only did she see Eric have a gun on him, but her car was on the news, and a day later, she decided to go to the police. She told the police everything she knew. The police soon gained access to her car, cell phone, and house, and soon after, she was declared clean. She was a major witness in court and was even provided protection during the time. She was a classic case of being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Eric Holder, meanwhile, was also accused by the prosecutor of premeditated murder. In other words, he planned it all out and arrived at the parking lot with the intention of hurting Nipsey. The surveillance cameras captured the crime taking place, and Eric has no chance of escape. The trial is still going on, and it's clear that Holder is going to see a long sentence. There's a slim chance that the judge reduces his sentence due to the impulsive reaction, but only time will tell. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.